Let me know if this sounds familiar. You're doing great work, but it feels like no one's noticing. Your ideas are strong, your results are solid, and yet you're passed over, overlooked, or simply not seen as leadership material. But here's the thing: visibility doesn't require being loud. In fact, your introverted strengths are exactly what can help you rise if you use them strategically. The modern workplace may reward volume, but it needs clarity, depth, and intentionality, all qualities introverts already excel at. In this week's episode, I'll show you 3 practical introvert friendly shifts that will help you go from invisible to influential. This is the first video in a 3-part series on how introverts can rise into leadership. Each week, we'll tackle a common roadblock that introverts face and give you tools to overcome it. Today, how to get noticed without being loud. Next time, how to communicate like a leader, and then how to advocate for the leadership role you deserve without feeling pushy. I'm Stacey Chazen, leadership coach and creator of the Introverts Leadership Formula. I help quiet professionals unlock their influence, impact, and income, all in ways that use their innate gifts and strengths. If you've ever thought, I know I'm capable, so why am I being overlooked? You're not alone, and you are not the problem. So let's dig in. The first shift you can make, shift number 1, is rethink visibility. Most people assume visibility means being the loudest in the room. But true visibility is about being seen as valuable, and that could be done quietly and powerfully. As an introvert, you bring depth, clarity, and intentional communication. So instead of trying to match someone else's energy, use your own to show up strategically. Here's how. Share your thought process, even briefly, in meetings. Follow up afterward with a written summary or insight. And ask questions that frame the conversation or show big picture thinking. These are leadership moves, and they get noticed. Shift number 2, tell your leadership story. One reason introverts get overlooked is we don't always talk about ourselves. But if you don't tell your story, someone else will. Or worse, they won't see the story at all. So how do you tell your story without oversharing or overselling? Try saying something like, one thing I've learned about how I lead is, or a value that drives how I approach my work is. Statements like this position you as thoughtful, self-aware, and aligned, qualities people respect and remember when it's time for new opportunities like promotions. And shift number 3, spotlight your impact intentionally. Here's the truth. People aren't ignoring your work. They just don't always see it unless you make it visible. That doesn't mean self-promotion. It means leadership communication. Try this. Send a short project wrap-up email with outcomes. Share a process you improved and why it matters. Or mention something you led during a team update. And if you're wondering, like I used to do, isn't that bragging? No. It's being clear about the value you bring. When you spotlight your work intentionally, you make it easier for others to advocate for you and for leadership to see your potential. With these shifts in mind, here's your introvert power practice for this week. It's called the visibility audit. In the next 24 hours, reflect on these 3 questions. Where are you already visible? Where do you want to be more visible? And what's one small action you can take this week to move the needle? Maybe that means contributing in a meeting, following up with clarity, or simply saying, here's something I've been working on. Start small, but stay consistent. Visibility doesn't come from being everywhere. It comes from being clear and intentional. If you're ready to be more visible, but struggle to find the right words, I've got something for you. Download my free guide, Say It So They Listen, 10 phrases that help introverts speak with strength and show up as leaders. You'll find language to share your ideas with clarity, to set boundaries without feeling guilty, and to speak up in high pressure situations without raising your volume. You'll find the download link right below the show notes, and it's a free resource. And if this episode helped you to see yourself a little more clearly, let me know in the comments. Just drop the word visible so I know you're with me. Make sure to come back next week for episode number 2 in this series, when we'll dive into how to communicate like a leader, even if you're not loud. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. Until then, power on.